What's good in the hood, YouTube? This is Crazy Samurai 71 here bringing another video. Today I'm doing episode 15 now of the Powerpuff Girls 2016 reboot TV show that's going on currently. The episode was actually pretty good. It was entitled Blue Ribbon Blues, which is an interesting title, of course. Blue ribbon referring to a prize ribbon. So let's get into the episode. Let's discuss it. So the first thing that happens is that we end up we see Blossom, who's super eager to meet this well-known doctor or scientist or whatever, and his name is Rupert Kensington. And Dr. Rupert Kensington. And the thing is that he's supposedly like super well known, super famous, super significant, and all that. And she's super eager, and she's telling her sisters this, and her sisters like bored of it all. And basically, what happens is that eventually he comes in, and he looks like this guy that it's like a longer mustache and looks a certain way or whatever. And the thing is that he doesn't know what he's done, and Blossom's like explaining everything and going all nuts and getting all excited because she sees someone that she was so excited to see, and she's freaking out, and she's explaining what he did, like how he created this device called the transmutation ray, which ended up allowing fruits to make one fruit and another fruit become one fruit that can combine together or whatever, and plants in general. And the thing is that she explains all this stuff, and the thing is that Blossom's so eager, and the thing is that he's gonna teach the class, and he's gonna judge their science fair, and whoever wins will get a blue ribbon, which is that blue ribbon that basically the episode focuses on. So what happens is that she's super eager. She wants to do a project. Her sisters, on the other hand, have their own idea, which is to find out about this thing that's called the ghost horse, which has been lurking around the school for a while, and they want to do some research on it and do that as their science project. So that's going on for them. But Blossom ends up speaking to Dr. Rupert Kensington about suggestions for her to do. She suggests a whole bunch of things. She's like a whole bunch of note cards of different ideas or whatever. And the thing is that eventually he suggests this idea of, how he ends up showing her like this blueprint of, the transmutation ray. And the thing is that basically he ends up explaining to her, like, I made it focused around plants, but you think I would love it if you could create a upgraded, much more special one that can maybe work with animals and humans and creatures and all that stuff. And the thing is that she's like, oh, well, for you, I'll do it, I'll have to do it because you're special. And so clearly there's that interest, and she does. And so what happens is that there's all this excitement that she expresses, and then what happens is that it's the day of the science fair. You have Bubbles and Buttercup dressed up as like in a black suit and tie attire, which is pretty crazy, and they're trying to explain the ghost horse. And the thing is that they connect it to Dr. Rupert Kensington, and so they're very suspicious of him. They wonder, like, could it be him? I wonder. And the thing is that then you have Blossom, who shows her experiment, which Dr. Kensington is very excited about. And the thing is that he ends up eventually grabbing it and taking it. And she shows him that it works and stuff, and shows him that it can work on animals. And she even mentions it can work on humans as well, and together, and the two together and all that. And what happens is that he grabs it. He starts making a maniacal evil laugh that goes on. And suddenly what happens is that he reveals to everyone that he isn't what he seems to be. He changes his mustache up, and then suddenly what happens is that you have Bubbles and Buttercup explain that apparently his name really is Wendell Feinstein, and the thing is that he was a janitor, and he was this pretty naive, pretty pathetic janitor people didn't like, and he ended up being transmutated to be combined with a horse and and himself, he became a centaur. So he became known as the janitor, the janitor, like sanitar, like centaur, janitor. Yeah. So basically, that's what happened to him, and so the ghost horse, he has hooves, so he's the ghost horse that they were trying to figure out, and so they ended up finding all this stuff out. And the thing is that the reason why he wanted the transmutation ray was to turn everyone else into half human, half animals. But the thing was is that then Blossom mentions the obvious point, which is, why didn't you ask me to make a ray that would just turn you human again? And the thing is that he says, I should have done that. He face palms basically, and is not very happy with himself that he did this. But still, he's like, I'm gonna attack you guys. So he starts shooting these rays. He turns Bubbles into a bee. He turns Buttercup into a flamingo. And eventually, he ends up blasting around a whole bunch of other people, and eventually knocks a wall down that shows where the real Dr. Rupert Kensington is, and he ends up talking and stuff and discussing like, that guy is evil, that guy's bad or whatever. And the thing is that eventually you have him turn into a snail, and then Blossom tries to protect him, and she turns into a walrus. So then what happens is that, Blossom as a walrus tells her sisters as their animal selves to attack him and annoy him and all that, and eventually there are issues that happen, and while they're distracting him, Blossom ends up going over to turn on a device that she created, because she knew that the device that she had created, which is the transmutation ray, could be very dangerous. So she made one that can reverse the effects. And the thing is that they broke the transmutation ray following this. And the thing was that they didn't pay attention to the other ray that Blossom had made. So when she pressed the button, everyone except for the janitor turned human again. And what happened is that then you see Mrs. Keene, who gives the janitor a broom and says, you better start cleaning. This is all you. This is your issue. And the thing is that then you have a scene that follows where Dr. Kensington, the real Dr. Kensington, ends up giving the first place blue ribbon to Bubble. Blossom thinks she's going to win it, but pretty clear that because Bubbles and Buttercup actually, solved a mystery and, did all that kind of stuff, and, saved the day, basically, they end up getting the first place ribbon. So that all happens, and then, Dr. Kensington the real Dr. Kensington doesn't really like Blossom at all, to be honest with you. And eventually what happens is that, she tries to speak to him, but he doesn't really care for her. And eventually you see that they're still on to the real Dr. Kensington to see if he really is Dr. Kensington, because they think that he's wearing a mask or something. And so there's all that conspiracy. And then following all that, you end up getting to the point where, Blossom just kind of waits there, and you see the janitor, and he's sweeping, and, the janitor, and he's sweeping, and he's miserable. But, go figure. That's his mistake. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm curious about what your guys' opinions. Did you like this episode? Do you like Blue Ribbon Blues? Or was this an meh episode? Have you seen it yet also, of course? Remember, this is 15 episodes in, so that's pretty good so far. Obviously, there's about 40 episodes, I believe, that are going to be in the first season. Hopefully, there'll be a second season, because the show has been pretty good. Let us know what your guys' opinions are. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. So until then, guys, I'm Crazy Samurai 71, and goodbye.